Hi.
Hey guys.
Depends on how fast you're going and how crazy the conditions are. But like how good the lines are with. But generally, it's like once every.
So you're just driving along, 30 seconds, you got to touch the wheel.
Usually it'll prompt you touch the wheel and then I touch the wheel.
But it definitely like makes driving easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Stress-wise.
I don't think a wheel would do it. It just makes it a lot easier. So you autopilot is looking for the context. Snow is there. Okay, the snow makes the. I have a very
You make so many cars
Today, yeah.
You make like 19 cars. I was lucky enough to get a 72-hour test ride with a P100D.
Oh, really? You're like one of those sales calls, right?
It was one of the yeah, I mean it was quite nuts.
That's how they get you. Trunk open. Oh, that's expensive.
Can you give me that back?
Oh yeah.
This is a weird
Location.
charger. Yeah, that's awkward to get into. I wonder how many people messed up their rims already. Just kind of.
My request, if you're able to, is to do a full acceleration at some point if you can find a place to do it.
We'll try our best for that. Yeah, it's more or less fully charged, so we'll get some good feel.
Despite the I mean it's awesome.
Okay, well, we will, let's see, we will, do you guys live around here? Do you guys know the neighborhood well?
I don't know the neighborhood.
Okay, we'll pull here, and go and drive it.
Alright.
Alright. Can you switch with him? And I'll sit up front. It's snowing, I can't believe it.
I know.
It's the first time I've been in a multi-sport snow before. Here we go. Everybody. Perfect.
Creep mode is not on.
It is not on. I've been telling people I said creep is a relic of automatic vehicles.
Right? For sure.
Even manual transmission people don't know what that's all about.
Maybe I'll go back out to the main road. I don't want to.
We can just make a right, and actually 2 rights on the left, and we should be back to actually 3 rights. So what are your first impressions?
Oh, I mean, trying to compare this to an S, I mean, it's like the same thing. Like I totally
It is the same thing,
understand.
right? Yeah, you don't understand what we mean, right?
Like, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, even I mean, every time though, I don't have an EV right now, so the regen does. It always does. I always have to be reminded that it's there.
Sure, right. Especially when you go from a gas car like
yeah.
straight over.
Every time I'm like,
Let's make it right
it's
here.
just the way it should be. There's like 2 different levels of the blinker.
Regen. Oh, the blinker, yeah. This blinker took me 2 days to
Can
get
I
used to.
got it here?
Yeah, of course. This blinker took me 2 days to get used to. That's weak, man. Yeah, not enough. You gotta find an open road and just.
Was that not?
No, that
put
was
it
not.
to the floor.
Maybe you come to a full stop first and you really feel the lurch. Yeah.
All right, make sure to go to these.
Yeah, be careful.
I am.
I know.
I'm watching that guy.
Nice. That's better. It's basically a Model S, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's more powerful than the 75. I'm gonna drag
You
race.
think? Even
well,
the D?
Not the
I'm-
current one.
I'm drag racing the 75 at
Oh, yeah.
the Edison charger, so we're gonna figure out whether
Oh,
or
yeah.
not that's true or not. Yeah.
I can head back.
We'll head this way. Yeah.
Okay. What am I doing? Why do I need an S or an X?
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
get 2 of these.
Well, yeah, exactly. or instead of feeling your D, you get like 5 of these. You know.
Yeah,
So,
well,
yeah.
like my girlfriend wants my current
Yeah.
car, and she's,
Yeah.
you know.
Let's make it right here.
Oh, whoops.
Well, I think you've already sold me. Right, my Roadster is going up for sale.
Yeah. This thing gets top speed real quick. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this will
Oh,
satisfy.
I saw that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
kilometers
yeah,
per
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, that's nuts.
This thing, I think the torque mapping is kind of interesting on this car because I feel it gunning up around the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
once-
it gets faster, and I'm like, wait a second.
No,
so it's
it
not,
does.
It's not outputting max power at 0.
If you look at the road and track numbers of how fast it goes, gets to different speeds.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not trying to get you a ticket. It's a 25 here.
Oh no.
it's and then what they did in the quarter mile. So it's 0 to 60 is like slower than my Roadster, but
Yeah.
60 to 100 is faster than my Roadster.
Interesting. Okay.
So
okay.
it's just amazing what they're able to.
60 to 100 miles per hour. Right?
60 to 100 miles per hour.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's faster than my Roadster because it actually hits the quarter mile at a faster speed, at a faster trap speed.
Interesting. Okay.
Not having the binnacle here, it's like it doesn't
The what again?
matter. The binnacle, it's the,
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Use that
the
first.
front dash,
Got it.
and
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't matter. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, how are you going to do with the with the speed
Right,
over here?
right,
and
right.
honestly, I mean, the numbers are large enough that I can just like look right over here
Yeah,
and still
sure.
see the number. I
Let's
mean,
make it
like,
right here.
why do? It's like people who haven't experienced it. They just talk shit ultimately.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And-
They imagine it in their head, but then once
Yeah.
they're actually behind the wheel and they're driving and they're not actually thinking about, oh, what's the interface like? What's that? I mean,
Yeah.
who thinks about that?
The other owner who was there at the supercharger, I mean,
Yeah.
he said,
Just
tell
keep
me where I'm
going, keep going forward, and then we'll make a
He,
left
he
on there.
said it's like it took a day, you know, and
Sure.
and also he noticed that he will prefer to use the phone function on here over his phone simply
No,
because
this,
it's a lot easier.
this thing is so big. Look at this. I mean, I can just dial like this instead of picking up my phone.
and having your contacts
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
that stuff
Yeah.
and like the big list.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Let's make a left here.
Left.
Yeah, left. Yeah, the car itself is like well designed. I think you're getting good value for money. That's
for damn sure.
That's what I like the most about this car. It's just value for money. I mean, even though things are flawed, you can deduct that off the value, but it still has more value for money, even with everything subtracted. You know.
I mean, do you okay, one last time
Sure.
for these guys?
No problem.
Oh, I think it's a speed camera.
Oh,
Right,
was there?
yeah.
I don't have
Right there
license
on the
plates, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Are those speed cameras?
Yes.
That one was right
Oh,
there. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I
In
didn't see a
California,
flash.
yeah, we don't have those in California, so that's very interesting. This one here?
no, not that.
No,
no,
yeah,
right,
they
okay,
don't use the one
yeah.
that clips each other. That's probably the last one.
Yeah, I don't have license plates, so well, I do have number plate, but it doesn't even come back to here. So
Yeah, and I like just the simple fact, like the auto dimming, you know, side
Mirrors,
mirrors
yeah,
and
yeah,
the rear view.
right.
I mean, this is crazy. But I mean, I haven't even driven like a 3 Series or a 5 Series or anything like that. But
like BMW,
like
yeah.
and it's the level of luxury. It's still luxurious in a way, even though it's not it's minimalistic.
Yeah.
But it feels more premium than simply 35.
Sure. Well, this was more expensive than 35.
I know,
yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
For
of
folks
course, yeah.
who
Let's make a right
that's
turn
their they're starting.
Right, no, for sure.
But I mean, this is you got all the bells and whistles in this guy, right?
Yeah, this thing, everything except for the full self-driving.
Right.
So then,
Yeah, I tell people don't do it.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
most people will criticize
unfortunately,
you.
unfortunately, that's the point where until they get some of these new updated neural net updates out,
Right.
and they can prove that they've used the new cameras.
Yeah.
People have been doing tests. Cayman Auto,
have
other
they?
people.
Okay,
They'll put they put tape over the sensors or the cameras to be like, hey, look, they're not using them yet. Otherwise, it would disable autopilot.
I see. Okay,
So
interesting.
they're using that to test about how to kind of like monitor their progress.
Right. Okay. That's just espionage, I guess. I mean, that's more or less trying to figure out what competition's doing. But GM is working on these things too, right? So it's not like
Well, it's not even about competition. Cayman Auto, he's a he's he's a Tesla owner.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it. I thought you meant
no. He's just
okay.
monitoring the progress of Tesla's autopilot.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
He's one of the he had a first gen 60.
Okay, right.
Back there. All right, where am I going?
We'll make a right whenever you want, and then left on Montrose. So yeah, I think after you've driven the P100D, you may not. I mean,
Well, it's a different beast. I mean,
sure.
those are for people who like money is just no object.
yeah, right.
I mean, but I mean, honestly,
make it right here. Be careful with the huge curb.
but I mean, I think it was smart for Tesla to take the 75D and do the upgrade for
The uncorking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
uncorking,
yeah.
they call it.
Yeah, whatever.
And that's helping a little bit. But I mean, man, that's like you can get the 100. I'm going to say the old 100D performance in a 75D now. I mean, like. And there was a $20,000 price difference.
Right. And they uncorked it for free.
Yeah, and now I'm like, you feel this. I mean, you don't really like normal people who don't care about that the speed or the 0 to 60 numbers. I mean, like 1-2 seconds. Like, what is it really?
Sure.
I mean, maybe compared to your 100D, it's probably a little different than this guy, obviously.
Right.
Left.
Oh yeah, let's make left here.
No, this is very satisfying acceleration. I mean, I'm used to my 3.7 second Roadster.
Yeah.
And this
7?
is 3.7. Yeah.
I didn't. No, I know, but I 3.7.
And this is. I mean, I know this is a second slower, but it's still satisfying.
Seconds there. Yeah. This thing doesn't.
Straight,
Yeah,
right.
to the right. This thing doesn't have any. I think when I'm giving the test drives, everybody is coming from like a BMW or something that they're used.
Oh,
to
this is going to be so much better.
downshift all the time.
Oh, I know.
This thing has like
this is
little to
instant.
no. Yeah, little.
Anyone
to no
who's
downshift.
not used to an electric car does not realize the advantage of instant acceleration at any speed whenever you want it.
Sure.
I mean, it's so responsive.
Almost. We don't have to pull any. We just want to
No?
park. Yeah, let's just park.
Sure.
It here, yeah.
Okay.
I can hardly park it in myself. So. Oh, nope. You got the
wrong
windshield
one?
wipers. This side. you got. You got the.
Did they switch that? Wasn't it?
No. It's always been on the left side. Yeah. Gear shift is on the right side. Yeah. And you guys wait for a check, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do one last time, right? And then we'll get out. I am pretty much done with it.
Yeah, this guy deserves one for sure. You were at
Wait, were you just taking? Were you testing the car?
No. He was at the hardware in the morning.
You were adjusting the car riding, right?
Yes.
Oh, you were. Oh, my bad.
I rode it, yeah.
My bad. I thought you were waiting here.
On driving, yeah. Okay. You guys want to sit in front, and you three keep your hop in the back. Sure. And sorry to miss you this morning in National Harbor. We've been getting better at setting the schedules, but hope, I don't know. If you hang around there, trust me, you'll see more Model 3s.
Well, I mean, it's easy to just get into conversation and time flies,
That's what it was, really. Like we think the car is charging fast, but turns out that what's actually happening is that we've been parked there for so long, the battery has just literally just charged full. We review our charging times, and they're all about an hour, and that feels like nothing. Everyone's just hopping in and out of the car, and I'm kind of just answering the same old questions, and an hour goes by. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming
All
out.
right.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you guys. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.